Hey, good evening everyone, and greetings from Jackson, New Jersey, where today we're here at Six Flags Great Adventure.
On a really cold day.
Yes, we're here on a Thursday night. They're doing what they call power hours. So there's going to be like some of the haunts open and some of the roller coasters are going to be open, but not everything's going to be open. We missed rope drop by a little bit. We got some food and got some traffic problems. So we got about 4.5 hours in the park. I haven't been to this park in probably 6 or 7 years, so I'm excited to get back and see everything we do. I go by the legend. That is my wonderful girlfriend, Molly, who's
Freezing.
cold. Yeah, we're from Florida. We're not used to the cold, any.
Nope.
All right, let's go have fun. Great adventure. All right, we made it past the security checkpoint. You're greeted by fun pumpkins, a hearse being driven by a skeleton,
And my favorite.
the wacky waving arm inflatable flailing tube man.
Yeah, like a Frankenstein, a skeleton, and I'm not sure if he's supposed to be a mummy or a ghost.
I like how there's different size ones, like the little guy down there.
Yeah,
I think it's a ghost.
I would assume so, but I can't tell. He's not.
We have made it inside the park. Love the photo op with the coffins and the big red fountain. So I think we're gonna start off with some roller coasters. Great Adventure this year started doing Oktoberfest, and at least tonight I see the Central Brew House is open, and this craft beer and wine beer garden thing is open. So at least 2 bars open. So we'll probably, to have a drink or 2 later on. But I think our first stop is gonna be Molly's favorite ride, the free spin.
Oh yeah, love those. Absolutely.
First ride up, the Joker. This is a roller coaster that was new for me here. Of course, one of these SNS 40 free spins. So you do flip and spin and all that kind of stuff. I will say this one definitely in a cool location, because if you're sitting on the far side looking that way, you get a really cool view of the Great Adventure Lake.
I wouldn't know. I had my eyes closed because I don't do spinning rides much.
Yes, and this one spins quite a bit. Making our way over towards Jersey Devil Coaster. And couldn't pass up a ride on Skull Mountain.
It's such a cool like entrance.
Oh yeah. And here's the newest roller coaster at Six Flags Great Adventure, Jersey Devil Coaster, a single rail coaster built by RMC. The big reason I really wanted to come to the park today, I've heard mixed things. I thought it was a really, really fun ride. I rode in the front once, in the back twice. I definitely think I'm more a fan of the ride in the front row. The airtime's way better, except for the first drop. In that case, the airtime is much better in the back row. Molly, what you think?
I actually thought it seemed faster in the back row, so it was not as intense as some of the single rails.
No, like the ones at Fiesta Texas or Railblazer, those feel like you're strapped to a rocket that's gonna rip your face off. This is a much gentler ride, but still really fun. Just grabbed a ride on Nitro. Waited about 2 trains for the back row.
The first ride with the wait so far.
Yeah, and I mean, by wait, it was like 5 minutes. And Nitro's running great, man. It's a 21-year-old ride, but still provides really good airtime. We're riding like right as you can see the sun's going down, so we got some amazing views on this roller coaster.
No deer this time, too cold.
Yeah. One thing that was cool, the park was doing a promotion for Nitro's 1,000th ride of the season was going to happen tonight. So they were telling people on social media, hey, get to the park, see if you could be that 1,000th rider. And
we were one train.
We're 1 train away, and somebody in front of us won. And that was pretty cool. They won a prize package. The whole train got to ride again. So that's a cool small promotion that the park did. You can see it going into the sunset there. So it's time for Molly's favorite thing in the world, haunted houses.
Yeah, I love them.
By the night we're at Great Adventure, I think there's normally 6 haunted houses, and it costs around $40. Tonight they're running 4, and it's only 20 bucks. So we decided to pull the trigger and do it. The first one we did was Reflections of Fear, which is a haunted mirror maze.
Reflections of the Dead.
Reflections of the Dead. Reflections of Fear, I believe, was a house at Universal a long time ago.
Yes.
But yeah, it's a haunted mirror maze. It's the throughput is not good,
no.
But it's not a very busy night, so we kind of went through by ourselves, and it was pretty scary. Like you keep seeing this character and seeing yourself and seeing this character,
but you had no idea where they were.
Yeah, some of them were hiding.
Bang on the glass on the other side.
Yeah, some of them were hiding behind glass. They were going all out too, like hiding on the floor, screaming in your face. It was they were doing a great job with the staff, and it was fun, very different. But I imagine like the lines for this could be very long and very slow if it was a busy night. Right in front of the big wheel, which is not an operation night, you've got this giant jack-o'-lantern guy. Very reminiscent of the one they put on the Carnival Cruise Line.
Yeah, Patch.
Yep. Also, one thing about Great Adventure, they have so many more bars now than they used to when this was my home park, and that's good. We stopped for a beverage in the big bar right in the middle of the park, and really impressed by their beer selection.
Yeah.
We're drinking an Evil Genius Trick or Treat chocolate pumpkin porter, but they've got lots of really good stuff here. A lot of like local craft beers. Other stuff, they had fun names. There's a Stacy's Mom IPA and a There's No Crying in Baseball IPA. All that's by Evil Genius. With the Oktoberfest going on, they've got the Polar Hefeweizen, which I'm a big fan of.
Love that.
Yeah, they got Coney Island Brewery, Ashbury Park Brewery. Really nice selection. $13 for beer is never, fun, but at least they got a really nice selection and seasonal stuff. All right, I'll take it. On the main midway here at Great Adventure, they've got like real fire shooting up outside of the torch things.
You can tell it's windy also, though.
Yeah, a couple of them are definitely blown out.
Yeah.
One bummer though, because it's a ride I enjoy, one of the more unique rides in the park. Houdini not running here for power hours. Just got off of Superman, the park's flying coaster, and it was a walk-on just like everything else. Still running really good. Wanted to film over here because you can get an idea of just how empty Six Flags Great Adventure is tonight.
It is very empty.
The parking lot is very, very uncrowded. In the old Mach 1 The Right Stuff simulator building, there are two different houses in there. We just got out of both of them. One's called Fears, which essentially every room is kind of a different fear. So like fear of spiders, fear of clowns, fear of blood, things like that. It was okay. It felt very, very budgety.
Yeah, it's a lot of round the corner scares.
Yeah, like there were no boo holes. It's just like kind of lazy scares. There was a cool scene with snakes in there. I thought that was neat. The manor is essentially a haunted house that is a haunted house.
Yep.
That one I definitely think was better. There was some like animatronics and some cool like TV screen kind of effects in there, and some better scenes and sets. And I would say definitely the actors in any of the haunts, they seem to really like their job.
They do.
Just walked right on to the back row of Kingda, which was, I think it was closed for about the first half of the event.
Yeah, we didn't
Reopened around 7:30 or so. It is the world's tallest roller coaster, which is cool, but it is gotten very shaky.
Yeah, that's a one and done for me.
It is, it is vibrating. It's a ride that it seems like it's begging for its off-season maintenance. And I mean, it's probably only running for another week and a half. But oh man, it's shaky, 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 shaky. And definitely a better ride during the day because you get the view. The final haunted house that is open tonight is Big Top Terror 3D. A 3D house. I have not been through a 3D haunted house, like 3D, you get the glasses, it's in black light, in quite some time, so it's kind of fun to do that. I think this one definitely had the best sets out of any of them at the event. They had some cool stuff for me as a big fan of theme parks. They had a Laughing Sal in there, an old bumper car in there, an old kids ride vehicles were in there as props.
Yep.
So this one got a thumbs up. There were some good scares as well. And not like lazy boo holes like we've seen in some of the other haunts, like people that would blend in and the scare actors had like black like paint on their face or black like costumes on.
And the fact that you got the 3D glasses just makes it a little bit more unique.
Yeah, so thumbs up on this one. Pretty sure this pathway here by the lake has been a scare zone themed to a cemetery ever since I was going to the park and going to Fright Fest back in the mid-90s. Back at the big bar in the middle of the park, and I really like this bar. You got cornhole, giant Jenga out. We are drinking a There Is No Crying in Baseball mango IPA from Evil Genius. Really, really nice. And I would probably be a big fan of their Oktoberfest event. They got a nice selection of beer, and they do some different like German entertainment on a couple of stages over here. So
they also have sports on, football and baseball.
Yes, they do not have the Thursday night football game. They do have the baseball playoff game. They have a football game on, but it's like a repeat from last week.
Yes.
Thanks, Amazon. Over here by the main fountain and the giant wheel, they've got a hydration station with a whole bunch of water bottle refillers. Good for you, Six Flags. Right now we're making our way over towards Justice League and Wonder Woman, and there's just a giant lawn filled with inflatable eyeballs.
And then one pair of like demon eyeballs.
Yeah. Coming to Power Hour, you obviously don't get the full park. You also don't get the full Fright Fest, so like the shows and stuff are not running. And I believe they do some pretty good shows here for Fright Fest. Like there's an indoor show here with acrobats and magic and dancing.
Yeah, that sounds really nice.
Yeah, I also love that they use some of the Safari Off-Road Adventure some of the trucks when that was a ride at the park. Well, they're just set up here and they're hot props now. So I love the big giant spinning pendulum rides. They look great at night, but I think we're gonna pass on this one because it's gonna be very cold. I just walked right onto the Justice League Battle for Metropolis ride. It's the first time I've been on one of these since they had the big budget cut and went no 3D glasses anymore, 2D only ride. And also it's definitely a way worse ride in 2D. Not only do you not, it's built for 3D and you don't get that, but also the targeting system is way off. Like you'd point somewhere and your gun will shoot like 2 feet to the left.
Yeah, I'm usually bad at these ride games anyways, and I scored horribly because of that.
I did pretty good. I was in the top 1% of all time. But there's also big effects not working. The fire's not working. The Joker scene, the barrel kind of shelf thing that falls over, that wasn't working either. So not in great shape. Still a way better dark ride than you think Six Flags would have. But
it's a dark ride. Yeah.
And it's indoors, so it definitely helps with the cold. But yeah, man, it's not in the best of shape. Just a pleasant surprise. Dark Knight is both open for the event and they're running the pre-show.
They are.
And it's warm in here. Right in front of Batman the Ride, you have a giant inflatable clown. I believe this guy for years, back when I was going to the park, was on top of the carousel for a while. But that's a cool inflatable.
During Fright night?
Yep.
Okay.
And it's probably 20 feet tall. In the queue for Batman, look. That's a little cold rabbit. Molly, he's probably freezing, so we should probably just take him home, right?
Absolutely. Just take him to the car.
Oh, he didn't like the idea of going in a car. For a photo op here for Fright Fest, they have what I believe is an old Rolling Thunder car. At least that would be my best guess. It's the only one in the park's history that would have had this. It is now 9:30. Just grabbed our final ride of the night here on Nitro.
It was freezing. I'm a popsicle.
Yes, it is currently 42 degrees out, but kudos to Six Flags. Like, that's a pretty low temperature, and they're running a lot of rides. I am very, very happy that I brought my winter hat, and I have an old neck gaiter laying around from the COVID days. Wearing that on the rides, big help.
Yeah, my nose is frozen.
One thing nice about Great Adventure, they definitely have more roller coaster shirts than a lot of the Six Flags parks do. Interesting Jersey Devil shirts.
I like how they have the little devil coaster.
Yeah. And over here you got Tervises. Lots of Kingda Ka stuff. I like the Kingda Ka pint glass is nice. Not open right now, but El Toro has a selection of merchandise as well. Oh, that's cool. One of the glasses that's in like the shape of a beer. T-shirts for Medusa, and tons of the coaster cutouts and coaster dynamics for a lot of the rides in the park. They got some retro stuff. We got one Scream Machine up there. There's a pair of really cool magnets for El Toro and Nitro. Also, pretty solid Nitro shirt. The highlight of the Fright Fest merchandise is terrifying clown coffee mugs.
Those are terrifying.
Another example of a very cool pint glass, though. That's pretty snazzy. And that'll do it for time here at Fright Fest and Power Hours at Great Adventure. First time being at this park in a long time. Nice to be back. This event was awesome because there was like no lines. Would prefer it not be 40 degrees, but I love that there was no lines. Enjoyed the new rides. Enjoyed the park having like bars all over the place. The haunts, I think 4 haunts for 20 bucks. That's a fair value.
Yeah, definitely.
Molly, any highlights of the event?
No, I agree with all those.
There we go.
Haunted House was way better quality than what I expected, and the scare actors really love their job.
Yeah, that was a big takeaway from the event. Like every scare actor, whether you're in a scare zone or a haunt, they were going all out and really enjoying their gig. Screaming at you at the top of their lungs, like very impressive.
Another takeaway, Kingda Ka needs to go down for maintenance right now.
Very, very shaky. It's a brain rattler there. All right, if you have any questions about Six Flags Great Adventure, let me know in the comment section below, and thank you for watching.